Phil, don't forget Phil. Don't. Yeah, Phil. Don't come on. Come on. Yeah. Okay. Go in. Yeah, I'm going now. And welcome to TGP1 Season 23 yet again. This time it's rounds 3 and 4 and we're at Russia and Bahrain, one of my favourites. Bahrain, not Russia. Not a fan of Russia, to be honest. And as we can see, 5 minutes or 4 minutes 30 to go remaining of this qualifying session. At the moment, Aiden's on pole. We're actually on board with Matt Tibos. Not set a competitive or even a lap time as of yet. So very interesting. It's all to play for Matt. Matt will dive into the pits as he is pretty much, used those tyres up a bit too much. Tyre wear not too bad around Russia. So I think we could see a pretty self-explanatory strategy. Nothing too major. However, we'll actually go down the grid at the moment, because at the moment we've got Aiden Griffins, as we can see, in the pits at the moment, so you won't actually be able to see it. On pole position so far, a 31.4. He's actually beaten his fastest lap time from this race last season. He did a 31.5 last season, not by a huge amount, but he has, as Elite Shots there joins at the bottom of the screen. But yeah, Aiden's beat his lap time from last season. And I would also like to point out, last season Matt Tibos did get pole position with a 31.0. So at the moment it's about half a second off what the pole time was. However, most of the field are pretty much where they were last season, for the people who are racing, of course, in terms of sort of the gap to that sort of 31.0, which was pole position. However, one thing I must point out, as you can see at the bottom of the screen, Corey P17 obviously not taking part in qualifying after winning in Germany last week. So that should be an interesting fight back for him. Again, tyre wear, not an issue, so he should be able to do well. Obviously, slipstream very, very powerful around here. ERS management, even more key around here as well. There's not really any slow corners, bar the final 3 corners as we're on board with ART J Luke at the moment going through that. Obviously, final little few corners, the chicane off camber, very easy to lose the rear end and lose all your time, as it were. And he is coming into the pits. So at the moment then, as we can see on outlaps, Aiden Griffins, Risky Racer, and Paul McGuinness. And let's just actually take a look, shall we? I actually think Aiden Griffins is potentially the furthest round. And he is, yeah. We'll see Risky Racer starting another lap. We'll actually go on board with Risky Racer, shall we? See what lines he takes through the corners. He's actually traffic coming out, they get out of the way nice and easy into turn 1, 100 metre board, nice and easy, and he's already overcooked it, already invalidated his lap, sadly, so not the lap he wanted already. So he'll that's his qualifying pretty much over. If he can sort of get round, he might be able to do another lap, but we'll see. Obviously sooner rather than later. And there's not actually much action. Everyone's on it at laps. There's going to be a lot of traffic in this qualifying session, this last run. But we will see as there goes Speed 9. Tags the wall, trying to heat his tyres up. Don't think that's necessary, heating your tyres up, because, well, it's just pointless. You're just putting wear on those tyres unnecessarily. But we'll see then Aiden on his flying lap into turn 1. Again, 100 metre board as J-Luke there retires. Nice and easy through turn 1. Doesn't go aggressive. Round turn, it's actually turn 2. Round turn 3 now. Very long. Keep it to the left hand side. Try and take as much speed through this right hander. Very easy to cut it. Perfect. I'd probably say you could have gone out a bit further wide, but nothing to worry about there. This next corner very difficult. The sun blocks it there. Perfect from Aiden. Absolutely perfect. He's already done a purple sector 1, as you can see on the right hand side. Obviously, a few stabs at it there. Not too bad, I guess. Not too bad, but I think, and there we go, straight away you can see he tries to take too much speed. That is his lap over, and that is his qualifying over as well there. Machine Fishy making his first race's debut. I do not believe he wasn't there last week, so in the Renault. Obviously Luca, Mr. Cheap Elite, now has another driver in his team, so that's okay. But 31.7 for Machine Fishing at the moment, not too bad on his debut. But what we're going to actually do, we're going to go on board with Matt Tibos as he starts his lap. We know how good Matt is at this circuit. Again, pole position last season. Obviously, a few drivers finishing the laps on the left-hand side. Matt keeps it very tight round this corner. It gains him time because he's not having to worry about running wide. And here we go. Not taking as much curb or as much speed as I think he would like. I think this, for Matt Tibos, is just going to be a banker. Get a clean lap in. It is purple sector 1 for him. But this is very important, just to get a lap in, or he'll be starting down at the back, which is not what he wants. And perfect, absolutely perfect. They got on that curb. And here we go, left-hander, very fast, misses the apex slightly, but he does get on the power nice and early. Onto this back straight, very important to keep that speed. Use all the road if you have to on the exit. Takes it quite cautiously, but I think he will be. It will definitely be up there as Machine Fishy. I'm hearing he's coming around the last corner, and where is he going to go? He doesn't improve, sadly. Obviously, a few people. Elite Shots actually into P3. I must point out, Elite Shots having a few internet issues at the moment. Obviously, Phil and Owen, 13th and 14th, also finished. Khalifa them will obviously go off board. Let's say with him. Obviously, people say I do like a lot of on-boards, so we'll go off-board as he comes round the final corner there. He is the championship leader as well. Khalifa goes P2. Then here we go, Matt Tibos round the last corner. He does not do a lap. He invalidated it. Matt Tibos staying P15. Jack Pearson then round the final corner as well. Him and Jonas, pretty much the last drivers there. Doesn't do it. Obviously, Jonas, I am hearing, balls up his lap, and there we go. That is qualifying. Aiden on pole, good for him. Good result. Nice pole position. Couldn't really ask for more. Now he just needs to keep his cool into turn 2, technically. There we go then. Aiden P1, a 10th and a half. Khalifa P2, where he wants to be. He's got that slipstream, that slingshot down into turn 2. Machine Fishy on his debut. Apparently he's Irish. Good on him. Good to have another Irishman back in TGP1. Elite Shots. I think he'll be very happy with P4, to be honest with yourself. He did a bit of sweat. J. Luke P5, good for him. Jonas making his return. P6. Risky Racer P7. Kyle in P8. Speed 9 P9. Obviously Northlands P10. Chiapelli P11. Jack Pearson P12. Mayor Quimby P13. Phil Bargewell then in P14. Matt Tibos very disappointed there in 15th. Paul and then Corey round out the grid. And I must say, I do believe this is Aiden's first ever pole position as well. So to do it by a 10th and a half at Russia, he does like Russia. He does well here. Obviously, as far as I'm aware, it is his first pole, but it's quite good. So let's take a look then on the grid. Nice and sunny. Nothing to worry about. The weather bit cloudy with a bit of sun. Doesn't appear to be a chance of rain, so that should be good. So then we will see. So long run down to turn 2. Slipstream very powerful. I think Aiden will need to go defensive, to be honest with yourself. So it should be very important to go defensive there. Very enticing as well, I must point out, into turn 2. Very difficult to judge where to brake. You don't want to brake a bit too early. You're going to get smashed on the back off. You don't want to brake too late because you're just going to end up going straight off and costing yourself time. And here we go then. 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5. Red Bull on pole. Alfa Romeo on the right side there, or left side. And away we go. Obviously, Aiden actually gets a very good thing here. Khalifa then down into P4 already. Bit of contact there. Nothing too major. As we can see, a long shot there. Aiden, a 10th and a half. It's the... it's all going... pretty clean there. Bit of contact there, I believe. And Elite Shots around the outside of turn 3. Let's actually go on board with that. And it's a bit of contact there, but nothing too major. Machine Fisher getting a bit pushed out wide there, and Elite Shots doing a very, very good job. Very happy with that. Obviously reigning TGP 2 champion, I must point out. And here we go then, Khalifa P5 as someone goes a bit wide there in the Williams. Obviously that was J. Luke. But yeah, Khalifa then down into P5, not where he wanted to be. Obviously at this, but he is the championship leader. He just needs to keep it clean. It's a long race, 13 laps, and there is a yellow flag. And I don't know who that is. There may be. I think it's actually Corey. And there we go there. Owen is out of this race, or at least binned it. He's actually still in the race there. Corey down in P17. And actually, let's go on board with this fight for P2, a 10th and a half, 2/10 separating as Owen does retire there. And this battle for P2 is actually spicing up, and this is allowing Aiden to really get that gap. It's a 1.3 second gap pretty much at the moment. Obviously, and look, all the cars here trying to get through that chicane. The Red Bull coming under threat from that Toro Rosso, or AlphaTauri as it is now known in 2020, when the season gets underway, that is. Obviously, and Aiden Griffins sets that fastest lap. Elite Shots is absolutely doing the dog's bollocks, as it were, excuse the French, obviously for Aiden. I don't think he'll be helping him on purpose. However, as we can see there, he goes defensive. He knows the slipstream is very powerful. Moves back on the race line, nothing to worry about there, obviously with that. And at the moment, it is a bit of a procession. There's not too many overtaking opportunities. As we can see, actually, Phil and Jack having a bit of a battle there. Spectator cam's not the greatest going through turn 3. Side by side, it's spicing up, as it were, side by side now with the Fry. Is the Fry going to go up the inside? He does. Obviously, and then Jack Pearson keeping it nice and clean there, nothing to worry about, which is absolutely fantastic. Speed Knighton, obviously there, but as we can see, Matt Tibos up to P12, not really made the inroads that he wanted, and now Paul has got past Jack as well. Obviously, thanks to that, the teammates clearly working together. They're actually going to go back on board with, obviously, P5 actually. It's a bit of a procession here. They're pretty close, but Aiden is stretching his lead now, 1.7 seconds, and DRS not quite open as of yet. But let's just take a look then. Obviously not quite close enough, as we can see ahead. Machine Fishy on Elite Shots, not quite close there. However, he is lining him up, ready for that as ART, Kyle and Risky Racer going side by side. Bit of bargy there, but nothing to worry about. Nice and clean, and that's what we like to see, is the Mercedes there of obviously ART, Kyle in that Williams, and that looks a done deal. But Martin then, as we see Toro Rosso in the pits, and I believe it is Jonas. It is, that is perfectly fine there. But as we can see, nice, and look at that shot, look at it there. We're actually going to go on board with Machine Fishy, side by side there, side by side. He's going to try and run the outside. He thinks about it. Good defending from Elite Shots there, very good defending. He needs to be very careful though, because that can be very dangerous, and we can't actually see him on different on board there. There we go, all bit of contact. Machine Fishy up the inside, bit of contact there, and Machine Fishy is round 2 into 1. Does not go. Bit of a shame for himself there. Obviously dropping all the way down to pretty much the back of the field. Not what he wanted, but let's go on board. Obviously with Jay, Luke, him, Elite Shots, and Khalifa right in there. It's the fight for second still. Speed Knight and not too far back in that McLaren, that nice and orange, beautiful McLaren there. And obviously not too far behind. And it's actually closing. It's actually closing in. DRS is now active, so that should be helping Knighton. And actually, I think at the moment, Elite Shots is holding up as he tries up the inside. J. Luke, he goes up the inside. He's going to get it stopped. He does, very good there. Obviously, Elite Shots thinks about trying to go back around the outside, but doesn't quite make it. And then Khalifa is also up his inside. Obviously, very easy to do there. And obviously, that's P4 for Elite Shots down there. And his Speed Knight thinking about it. No, not quite. But he did think about going for it there. However, we'll actually go on board with Knight, and let's see what the DRS has to say. Let's have a look there. And actually, Matt Tibos, right on Martin. We'll actually go on board with Matt Tibos there. Going to have DRS, Martin doesn't have, and look at that slipstream. Look at that. We'll actually go on board and have a look at that. Overtake mode in the bottom right there, 27%. Obviously, no answer from Martin there. Martin's got quite a lot, 80% as we can see in the bottom right. So Martin's being very conservative. Matt Tibos being very aggressive with his hers. He has to from that far back. I must point out there, and that Machine Fishy, I believe, as Mr. Chiapelli there. Obviously, I think Mr. Fishy has actually gotten back past Mr. Chiapelli there. So that's perfectly fine there. Very, very interesting with regards to that, but not many battles at the moment. Everyone's separated, as you can see on the left hand side, 4-5 tenths. It's not a massive gap. However, there we go. Bottom left, you can see not really what Khalifa wants, especially if he's in third place as he is at the moment. There we go. DRS is going to be wide open again. Obviously, Khalifa's got it on J. Luke. Elite Shots has got it on Khalifa. Speed Knight has it on Elite Shots there. And actually, this gaggle of cars, Risky Racer's now closing. It's 1.7 second gap. Not massive, but I think if these guys keep holding each other up and can't overtake, it's going to be it's going to be 5-car battle for P2. There's all to play for. I must point out we are only on rounds 3 and 4 this weekend tonight, so it should be interesting. And there we go, as we can see, Matt thinking, trying to distract him as we see Mercedes in the background of Martin, I believe that is, into the pits, and Matt Tibos sets the fastest lap there. And let's go on board. Look at this. We'll see DRS now wide open. Will Risky risk it? That is the question. Will he risk it for the biscuit? I like biscuits, I like bourbon, so I'd say, and Matt thinking, trying to go around the outside. Is he going to do it? Not quite there. Obviously, Risky being very aggressive, and oh, it's quite bad as Matt doesn't have any damage there with regards to that. And Khalifa has overtaken J. Luke. That must have been around obviously around turn 3, should I say? Obviously, so a good move by him. Obviously speed 99 Martin there, as we can see on the left hand side in the pits, but Khalifa, this is what Khalifa needs to do. He needs to build that gap now. It's a 7/10 gap at the moment. He needs to build it before the DRS, because we know this is quite big. And let's go down to P15, a freeway battle here, obviously for P13, side by side. Williams, Toro Rosso, is it going to be clean? Just about. A bit of wheel banging, nothing malicious there. That is good. Obviously, and then Jonas is down a position. Carl has got him. Will Jonas try and think of it up the inside here? No. Obviously, there's not really much of a braking zone there, as Risky Racer has now been overtaken by Matt, and this is a good battle here. Good battle. Obviously, the spectator cams are pretty crap, going to be honest, but Risky Racer is still ahead of Matt Tibos. I think they did try and go side by side through that, obviously under the track there, as Aiden has now pitted. Obviously, and Matt then, as well as Risky Racer, pits. I think they tried to, duke each other there, but Khalifa in the pits, Aiden in the pits. Obviously, the two front guys are in the pits. Are they going to get held up though? That is the question. Then. So 4-way battle. Let's go down to 14th then. Forget the pits. Obviously, it's getting quite tasty, like a chicken. In that back of the grid, they're all, I must point out as well, and I'm actually going to go over it, is tyres. Obviously, the bottom guys all on the mediums, other than Chiapelli. Obviously, Mr. Chiapelli there in P7. Everyone else pitted for mediums there. With regards to that, and DRS then, we're going to go on board with Paul actually, just so we can see a better angle of the fight between Carl and Jonas. Jonas up the inside, he's got the DRS. He seems to be running quite a lot of downforce, because he doesn't seem to have the straight line speed as Carl thinks about trying to put it around the outside, but that's only going to go one way. And Jonas there, very defensive indeed. Obviously, as Risky Racer there, obviously in the bottom corner. There's no real battles going on other than this at the moment. Everyone's separated by, again, 7-8 tenths, give or take. The front two, 6 tenths there as well, but the top 6 have not pitted as of yet. And we're actually going to go with Matt Tibos closing on Risky. Obviously, with regards to that, obviously these two battling. I think they've been battling all race actually, so I think Matt may be getting quite frustrated. Risky clearly risking it for that biscuit. He's not having any of it. Matt may be the reigning champion. Obviously, he may have quite a few wins, but Risky Racer is having absolutely none of it. Obviously, Risky takes the line on the right hand side. Obviously, and Matt's actually got him. Will he try it up the inside? The Risky. He thinks about it. He's trying it. Oh, that spectator cam was quite difficult there to see who was at fault there. I think Risky did try and dive it up the inside as Matt was trying to turn in. 2 into 1 doesn't go through there if neither party is willing there, but that has cost obviously the chances there. We see Machine Fishy, they've got fish in the ocean, in the pit. We've got the Red Bull in the pits, we've got Phil in the pits, Elite Shots in the pits, J. Luke in the pits, and actually RoboJeep is leading this race in that racing point, so obviously a good little shout out to himself there. But as we can see, we're going to go on board with Elite Shots. Obviously J. Luke running it a bit wide there into turn 2. Obviously these two again been battling. He's going to try and run out the outside, not quite got that speed. He's going to dive up the inside of turn 4. No, he doesn't. He thinks better of it. Very smart from himself there. But again, this is the closest battle on circuit. Aiden is actually in P3, so he may have came out of the pits. He didn't get held up. He's in P3. He's got a 2-second lead over Khalifa between P3 and P4. So obviously perfect for Aiden. Aiden needs to keep his cool. Don't get any corner cut penalties. Do not risk it for unnecessary biscuits. Get that point. Get that win. He's got the pole. Get the win now. that's all that matters. Obviously, he's not too far behind. Obviously, Khalifa and Corey in the championship. Corey obviously down in P17, so obviously that's going to be terrible for his championship. But he needs to focus on Khalifa, as Aiden has actually overtaken obviously Mr. Chiapelli on that DRS straight. So nice and easy there. Obviously, elite shots and obviously J-Luke going at it. This is the worst camera angle. I hate the onboards when it's behind the driver's helmet. Absolutely terrible with regards to that. Obviously, but Khalifa needs to clear Mr. Chiapelli. Will he do it? He's 1.3 behind him. You know, bit of a gap there, but you know, I'm sure Mr. Chiapelli probably won't. And actually, Luca has pitted in P4, so he didn't hold on at all. Obviously, with regards to that, but you know, still on board with the fight for P4. Obviously, is he going to have DRS? Elite shots going very defensive, and I actually think J-Luke is running quite a lot of downforce at the moment. With regards to that, as we can see, Speed 9 on the offboard is closed up quite a lot on this duo because they're holding each other up, and this is actually going to be really helping Matt Tibos. Even though Matt Tibos, you know, not had it the race his own way, as we can see in the top right of the corner there, coming into shot. You know, this is a battle for pretty much net P4 in this race. Matt, we know, is fast, and you know, people know that I am very fond of Matt. You know, good clean racer. You know, doesn't really do anything that he doesn't need to, which I definitely admire. But Matt is really in a fight for P4, at least P4. So he's looking good. He's really looking good. As Knight in there, you know, gets a bit of oversteer, damages his wing. That's pretty much his race over at the moment. Obviously, is he going to try and go defensive? He does try and go defensive with regards to that. So as we can see there, obviously he does go defensive, Knighton, and he still tries to go defensive. Obviously, a bit of wheel banging there. He is up the inside though, Matt, and that is the position done and dusted. Obviously, Pete Knighton having a bit of a tussle there, bit of damage. So that is a bit of a struggle with regards to that. And there is a virtual safety car. Isn't going to pit as we see a bit of damage there. Was that the Mercedes of Martin? With regards to that, it might have actually been the second McLaren of Risky Racer who is pitting, and it's actually the perfect time. Risky Racer is going to get the perfect spot here, as well as Robo Jeep, obviously pitting. And actually, Robo Jeep is already coming out of the pit, so he's only lost a couple of positions, and he's not that far off. So absolutely fantastic for Robo Jeep. That virtual safety car came out perfectly. It comes out in P8. Brilliant for him. Absolutely fantastic. But is Phil going to be able to overtake? No, he's not. Obviously, RoboJeep does come out of the pits there, as Jonas is also in the pits. Obviously, Jonas there has no end. Oh, wow. And Aiden gets a penalty. In this race, what did I say for him not to do any mistakes, and he's potentially just thrown away a win. Absolutely outrageous there. Absolutely outrageous there with regards to that. And obviously the safety car has came in. We'll see. And there we go then. The top three elite shots. Obviously J-Luke and Matt Tibos. Matt Tibos then. So quite good there. And obviously that Jonas retires there. And the top three then. Oh, that Toro Rosso there getting very ambitious. Not usually a dive bomb area. Obviously him and Martin going side by side. Then him and Northants side by side. Obviously the Taurus does have the slipstream on Road Jeep. He's going to try and go. Is it going to be free wide? It's going to be free wide. Not quite. Maybe. Give or take. Needs to be very careful there. Worst camera angle ever. Absolutely terrible. And he is going to get a good move there. And there we go. That is just terrible. I may as well go on board because it's probably a bit easier there to actually see what's going on. Bit of lag there, but nothing too serious. And that's very clean, so that's nice to see. Very nice to see as we go back off board. And Martin, obviously Northants there, keeping that position. So good to see. And this actually brought in Machine Fishing back into this battle. Obviously in the Renault first, obviously debut. And actually Aiden then is serving his drive-through. So that is absolutely ruined his race. Absolutely ruined it. Bottled it completely, obviously in this race. And you know, Aiden just needs to focus on just getting a point or two. You know, don't overdrive it at all. As Robo Jeep then, and Martin, as Risky Racer, has retired from there, and obviously worst camera angles ever yet again. And Khalifa then in the bottom left. But here we go. And there's a safety car. There's an actual safety car. This may have helped Aiden. This may have helped Aiden massively to get some sort of thing. However, I must point out, look who's in P3. Matt Tibos. Matt Tibos in P3. Khalifa in P1. However, this is actually not going to help Khalifa. Matt Tibos might actually win this race. I must point out, I'm actually going to double check while the safety car's out of penalties there. And actually, my trusty companion is going to check penalties of Khalifa and Jay Luke. I do believe they both do have multiple penalties. Khalifa, I think, has 1. So Jay Luke has a 3-second penalty. 6 seconds there. So I do believe, with only a couple laps to go, Matt Tibos is probably going to win this race from pretty much the back of the grid. Elite Shots may get second, which is going to be fantastic for him. I think he doesn't think he's got the pace around this, and especially TGP1. It's a massive jump up. People don't think it is. However, it is a massive jump from TGP2 to be competitive in TGP1, and actually, he's doing that. He's in P4 at the moment. He's got a good chance. He has a massively good chance of getting a podium here with that. And we'll actually say as well, how long will the safety car stay out? It could. It literally could stay out until, you know, end of lap 12 potentially, and then there's a 1-lap fight with regards to that. And Corey is pitting for softs potentially. Let's have a look at him just to see if he does there. Obviously, Aiden's pitting as well. I think Aiden's got nothing to lose, especially if it's a 1-lap sprint. And obviously, they're both out of the points, I guess. And yep, it is softs there. And obviously for Aiden, it's also can we see there? Yep, that's also softs. So that is perfectly fine there. In regards to that with that then. So let's just quickly have a rundown, shall we? What I'm actually going to obviously do is I'm going to check the championship standings. Obviously get a rundown of that before the safety car comes in, because it is quite interesting then. So before this race tonight, Khalifa was on 43 points in the lead of the championship from Corey in P2, who was on 36. Speed Knighton before tonight was in P3 on 28 points. Aiden Griffins was in P4 on 27. Obviously, that's so far that I don't think that's going to change much, at least I'm afraid. P5, I believe RoboG, quite good. He's never been so high on 15 points. Jay Luke is in P6 on 14 points. Phil Bargewell, you know, to say he missed the first race last week due to, you know, work commitments, etc. before coronavirus hit, obviously not bad for him in, obviously, P7 on 12 points. Matt Tibos, P8, only on 8 points before tonight. And actually, it's going to be a 2-lap, obviously, battle. We're actually going to go on board with Matt Tibos, you know, really get that, you know, that run down the straight there with regards to that. So then, worst camera angle ever. Let's take a look then, and it is coming in this lap. Everyone's getting ready. Is Khalifa going to really do well? And I do believe Aiden might have actually got some damage again. Obviously, there might be a bit of brake testing. Ed's actually retired. Aiden's retired. He's had enough. I can hear obviously the wheel banging with regards to that. And here we go then. We'll go off board with Matt Tibos. There we go. Everyone's getting ready. And Khalifa has gone. Khalifa's gone. Jay Luke, sitting duck, doesn't know what he's doing, and this is going to be a good opportunity for Matt to get P2 down into P2, or down into turn 2, should I say. And here we go then. He's got the slipstream. No DRS, I must point out, for another lap or so. But Matt Tibos then, he really wants that P2, especially from starting so far back. And is he going to go up the inside? He's thinking about it. He's alongside, and that's pretty much P2. And actually, oh, Jay Luke there, obviously keeping it on the AstroTurf there. Obviously, and managing to keep P2 for the time being. But let's have a look then. Obviously, is he going to Matt trying to up the inside? He thinks about it. Elite Shots right behind him. Obviously, with regards to that. But this is going to be a tasty last lap and a half. There's a bit of action going on in the background there. Obviously, with regards to that Speed Knight in there, not what he wanted in that position as they all go wide in that corner. And I think this is going to be quite interesting. It's going to be a bit of a bottleneck because no one's got DRS. Obviously, Jay Luke is really going to be struggling to keep Matt Tibos behind. However, Matt needs to think of the championship. He's only got 8 points before tonight. He doesn't want to get taken out. He doesn't want any damage. He doesn't want an issue there with regards to that. We're actually going to go on. There we go. Side by side. Martin, RoboG, Machine Fishy. Side by side. We're going to forget the battle for P2 at the moment. And there's a bit of contact there. And what is that? Martin, what is that? Northants, absolutely outrageous. Not what's needed. He left him no room at all. And just, straight there. It's not really the one. And we're actually going to go back on board, obviously, with the fight for P2. Going on to the last lap. Will Matt really try and go? We'll go on board with him down this DRS straight just to see what the closing gap is. Bearing in mind, Jay Luke does not have to, well, Matt does not have to finish ahead of Jay Luke on the circuit. obviously given the situation with penalties there, neither does Elite Shots. But here we go, and actually, Matt, I think, is actually being very cautious when it comes to that. He knows there's no point down up the inside. He probably knows that he's got a penalty. His race engineer's probably told him with regards to that, so I think he's sitting back. But he needs to be careful. Elite Shots, I don't think, will care. Elite Shots will try and go for a move if he can. Obviously, if he's got the option there. So we will take a look then onto the final lap. 2.3 seconds Khalifa has over J. Luke there as the McLaren goes a bit wide. You don't really want that. And this is again the closest battle on the circuit at the moment. Obviously Matt sitting pretty for a P2, and I actually think Khalifa will win this. I think Khalifa will win this, given the gap. Actually, you know what? It might be close. And actually, there we go. Matt Tibos there. So Matt Tibos might end up finishing P2, P3, give or take. So he's not. It's gonna be difficult. We'll actually see. As there we go. Matt Tibos was forgetting the corner there. But Elite Shots is sitting pretty. As far as I'm aware, Elite Shots doesn't have any penalties. So Elite Shots is looking really well. As a bit of a fight going on there. And Khalifa then coming round. Is actually. He's thinking about it. He's going up the inside. Ooh, he's going up the inside, but is there a bit of contact there? There's a bit of contact. Oh, and Elite Shots. Elite Shots wins. So due to penalties, Elite Shots wins. Now I did not see that coming. Elite Shots in his first season in TGP1 as a reigning TGP2 champion wins the race by 2.3 seconds. Now, this is the third different winner this season. First race, you had Khalifa. Second race, you had Corey. And this race, you've got Elite Shots. 3 different winners, and they are all first-time winners in TGP1, I must point out. Khalifa was in TGP1 last season. He bottled a win at Spa. Let's not talk about that. Corey, obviously, was in TGP2 a few seasons ago. His first season in TGP1. And Elite Shots, his first season. So that was an interesting end to the race. I think that safety car really spiced things up, and Matt actually lost out. Matt finished P4. We'll actually go over the the finishing grid in the finish position in a moment, as we can see there. The Haas, the Rich Energy no more. Obviously on the car, but there we go. He lifts his podium. That will be bittersweet. He'll be very happy. I think he'll probably be doing a lot of things tonight, which we probably don't want to discuss because he'll probably be too happy about it. And there we go, spraying the champagne. And a Williams on the podium. Obviously, in real life, they don't know what a podium is these days, so that's really good for them. But a very entertaining Russia. It can be quite boring at times, but this has been very entertaining, which is fantastic there. And Corey, I believe, did get 1 point in the end there. And there we go. Elite Shots take his first ever win. J. Luke, fair play to him, P2. Khalifa, P3. Matt Tibos, that last corner move didn't really pay off for him. It actually cost him potentially 1 to 2 positions there. Machine Fishy, good debut for him. Speed 9, P6, quite disappointed there, I think, for him. Phil Bardwell, P7 after qualifying P14, perfectly fine for him. Kyle, P8. Mr. Chiapelli, P9, and obviously Kyle, as you can see, there does have the fast lap. Corey, P10, so he does get 1 point. Paul McGuinness, P11, Jack Pearson, P12, Robo Jeep, very disappointed after that, especially that the virtual safety car. Northland's P14, Aidan Griffin's very disappointed, very frustrated in P15. Obviously, I actually heard it. Obviously, I think he's punching up here at the team principal right now. I don't condone violence. So yeah, not good for Aidan. Perfect chance to win. He had it in the absolute bag, and he bottled it. He absolutely bottled it. There's no other words. I would not like to be a fly on the wall of his bedroom tonight. I think he had his towel ready because he was getting so sweaty, but I think that towel's now going to be used to cry into. So not really great for him, sadly. But bit of a shame there. But it was entertaining for us at least. That's what it's all about for you viewers. It's all about the entertainment value. I personally do not care who wins as long as it's a good fight, and a good fight it was. So that's always a positive there. But yeah, going back on that, it was a dry race, which was fantastic. Wet weather doesn't always produce the greatest races. Obviously, there's quite a lot of first, but it was dry. Russia, I think, as well. As much as I hate Russia in real life and on the game, because the slipstream is powerful, because the DRS is powerful, and the safety cars, of course, it closed everyone up. I think people got desperate in those last 2 laps because they knew safety car was coming in. It was risk it all or nothing. A lot of people fell at that hurdle, I'm afraid. Obviously, Northants, getting in contact there, ended up retiring because of it as well. I think he'd had enough of that. Aiden, obviously, virtual safety car, either sped under it. Not sure what the situation was there. And then I think he was getting quite irate under the actual safety car conditions as well, potentially there. But yeah, not the greatest there. But next race, Bahrain. Now, one of my favourites. I really enjoy Bahrain. I think it's a very good circuit. Wasn't a fan of the 2010 layout. It was absolute trash. However, this layout, the normal layout, I think is absolutely fantastic. It's good. I like Bahrain. It's a difficult circuit. It's technical. It's very bumpy. But I think that the overall racing is quite good. There's a few overtaking spots. Turn 1, turn 3, if you really want to class it as the hairpins as well. The back straight, main straight. There's so many overtaken spots, which I think is fantastic. And also, we're getting this session underway in 5 seconds time. But yeah, so we'll see. I mean, chances are it's probably going to be dry for Bahrain. I think chance of it being rainy is very, very slim. But you never know with Codemasters. It could rain. It could snow. I'm joking. Snow isn't on this game, thankfully, or it would probably be broken. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I think Bahrain, Matt goes well round here. I keep saying that, and I think this season's turned out to be a bit of a struggle for him. But he's got the pace. We know he's got the pace. Everyone knows he's got the pace. He's a champion. He's not a champion for no reason. But Bahrain, difficult circuit to be fast on. Who is going to prove they are championship material this season? It's all in the air. It really is. After the results of the first 3 races, Khalifa's looking prettier, I'd say. It really is. He's looking to get the points. All Khalifa needs to think of is don't get into incidents. Focus on being consistently at the front when the racers present himself. Perfect. If he's got the pace, go for that win, of course. Go for it. You're never going to win a title if you don't try and aim for wins. But you need to play it smart. There's no point going for dive bombs, overtaking people who you think are maybe not going to leave you the room, and then next thing you know, you spun round, of course. I think we probably saw a bit of that with Matt. Matt was really trying to get that position off Jay Luke at the end there. And obviously Waze joins us for the second race again. Obviously that's an extra driver on the grid. He will be starting last, of course, thanks to him joining mid-quali. But yeah, we'll see. We will see as both the Renaults, I believe, come out at the same time. So as we can see in the bottom left, both of the Red Bulls at the same time as well. So we see a Ferrari coming out. Obviously of Paul McGuinness. Obviously, there's only one Mercedes, as you can see there, Northants. We'll actually go on board with Jonas, and Jonas making his return to TGP1. Obviously, work commitments, etc., always hamper him these days when it comes to his attendance. But he was really wanting a chance of doing some damage tonight. I remember speaking to him a few days ago, with Matt doing so poorly, only on 8 points before tonight. Jonas was really looking to really do some damage on the front runners, and it's not really happened as of yet. But you never know. Results as the previous race, anything can happen. Absolutely anything. And in F1, it usually does. It really, really does. So it could literally be, anything. And if we saw anything can happen, Aiden cost himself a win in that last race. Pretty much, he was leading. And actually, I'd like to tell you a story while everyone was on their outlaps. I remember a few seasons ago in Monaco, I was leading comfortably, pretty big. Safety car comes out, full safety car comes out. I wasn't speeding at all, and the game gave me a drive-through penalty for absolutely no reason whatsoever, and it cost me that win. And I remember Dom always used to say to me, "You've got the win in the bag. You've got the win in the bag." And I kept saying, "Don't, you'll jinx it." And what happens? I finished P11 thanks to a yellow flag glitch after the safety car came in. Couldn't overtake anyone anyway, even if we wanted to. The win, I would say, it was robbed of me. So if Dom, if you are listening, If you're listening, Dom, I'm not a fan of yours after that. So there we go there. And obviously, while people are starting their laps, I'm actually gonna go over the points of the championship as well. So Khalifa is now on 58 points, still in the lead of the championship. Somehow, Corey is still in P2 on 37. Knighton is only, well, a point behind there on 36, of course, if you do maths. Aiden is on 27. So really, Aiden, even after that race, it's still not a massive amount. It's still not huge. However, it's an uphill battle. It really is, but it's good. These up down races for for who you expect to be good. It's good there. Jack Craig somehow came out of nowhere, absolutely nowhere. 25 points in P5. Matt Tibos on 20 points. So really, Matt's still not out of it. I mean, again, it's only the fourth race now, obviously at Bahrain. So there's still plenty of time, of course, plenty of time. However, he's got an uphill battle, especially if he keeps having races like this. That gap's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. He's potentially going to come under more pressure. He's going to make more mistakes. Not really what you're wanting, especially so early on. J. Luke on 18 points, and then Phil also on 18 points there. So that is obviously what your top 8 in the championship so far. As Machine Fishy sets a very good lap at 27.5. And I'm actually going to say, pole position around here, you are looking at potentially a 27.0. Maybe a high 26, I'd say as well there. So that's my take on pole position. So yeah, I think pole position around here last season was a 27.0. I'm not sure if it would be by me or Matt. I think it was one of us. However, that's my take. It'll be a low 27 going on previous results and my performance. But at the moment, then only half the grid, 8 drivers setting laps. Machine Fishy on pole so far, 27.5. Johners P2 so far, only half a second off on a 28.0. As Phil then goes in P2 instead at 27.8. This circuit, very easy to actually gain time, but it's also very easy to lose time. Just how technical it is, obviously with this. But as we can see, Matt Tibos, May Quimby, J. Luke, Khalifa, Risky Racer, and Elite Shot also in the pits. They've not came out as of yet. I think they're just tweaking themselves, making sure it is right for the conditions. So obviously Johners pops it into the pits there. Probably have a cup of tea for a bit. Probably not going to improve by much, obviously with that time, but we'll see. I guess we will see as there is there we go, a Ferrari just being slow. I think he was just letting speed 90 through there, nothing to worry about. And again, we've got on the right hand side the full track map, just so you've got a bit more information on screen of what's happening around the circuit, just so if I miss something, at least you as the viewers can always see what's going on. As I'm a terrible commentator, I'd say. So yeah, we'll see. Obviously with that, but everyone at the moment is back into the pits. Obviously Paul McGuinness, I think, is going to start his lap, so we'll go on board with Paul. And actually, I think he's coming in the pits. Yeah, he's on his mediums. Now, I'll actually go on, take a look at that. So at the moment, as obviously Martin there, Northants goes into P8 on the SOS, but this is the best, obviously, of the best, as well as the best tyres. At the moment, only Paul, Mr. Chiapelli have set laps on those mediums, but let's see. Everyone's got the same ones fitted, apart from Mr. Chiapelli. And actually, RoboJeep, as you can see in the bottom left, out on the hards. Not sure it's going to be very good there. Not very sure that's a good one, to be honest. But literally, no one is there. Martin's on his in lap, as we can see. He's not really pushing. He's got Risky Racer ahead. RoboJeep, I think, is literally the only one on a flying lap at the moment on his hard white-walled tyres. So, I'm probably going to say maybe we're going to have a shock result. I think so far every race this season has been a shock result. But let's go with it. Let's just say we're going to have another shock result. Keep it spicy. Don't put too many peppers on there. I'm not really into spicy food, to be honest. However, if it's spicy in TGP1, I'm more than happy with that. More than absolutely happy with that. And as we can see there, RoboJeep on those hard tyres, really struggling to slow it down for that hairpin. Very difficult. You can take multiple lines in there. You've got to be careful of your rear end. obviously coming around with that. And actually, let's take a look at Khalifa. I do believe he's on a hot lap. Obviously gone through turn 1 and turn 2. Going into turn 3, very easy. He actually try and takes more speed through there, which is not too bad for him. You try and ride this curve on the left, he keeps it completely clear. It just lets you take a bit more speed through these S's. This corner very, very difficult to get right. Traction is essential. It's very difficult though. The rear ends are very easy to come around. There we go, the chicane, the hairpin I'm talking about. Obviously trying to take a wide line. Took a bit too much speed in there. It can pay dividends though on the exit with that. So not too bad. It's actually using all the circuit there. A lot of people do this. Obviously just to open up the corner. 3rd to 4th gear, short shift as best you can. Avoid this curb on the right. It will unstop the car and you'll be off and spun. As he's actually got Machine Fishy ahead of him. Will Machine Fishy get out of the way? He does. That's perfect. And obviously, nice sportsmanship there between the drivers. And also there is a yellow flag. That's nothing. That was just Machine Fishy getting out of the way through the final corner. You don't want to blow it here. You want to avoid the curb on the left-hand side as much as possible. Obviously, DRS open up the gears. That's all you can do. And Khalifa goes into P3 on a 27.999. So he's about, well, pretty much half a second off pole at the moment. Obviously, so not really. I don't think he'd be too impressed with that, but is in P3 at the moment. You can't really go wrong with that. And actually, let's jump here and validate his lap already, as Mayor Quimby has left, probably disconnected. But let's just take a look then at this. So Kyle off a 10th up apparently. I would believe that's on his time, so he'll be going P2 at the moment, as far as my maths works out. And again, I've got a G in maths, so don't quote me on that. However, final corner, as we see the racing point ahead of him going off. But Kyle then looking for that P2. Will he get P1? Depending on how well he did that final sector. And he does go P2 as expected, only a 10.5 off pretty much of the top driver, Machine Fishy, at the moment. And he's taking an interesting line there to get back to the pits a bit quicker. Pretty frowned upon, to be honest, but is what it is. Obviously, Khalifa 1 lap on his tyres on the left-hand side tower there. He'll be on his in lap as Aidan Griffins goes fastest. Obviously, completely missed that on a 27.3. I think he'll be very happy. He'll be very happy with that there. So let's have a look then. So at the moment, we've still got Matt Tibos in the pits. Interesting. So he's either going out for one run. He's seeing what people's times are, or it's a bit of a struggle. Bit of a struggle there. So, not too sure Matt's tactic. I think he should be. If I was him and his championship points at the moment, I would definitely go out to get as many laps in to ensure that you've got a lap on the board. Because again, we saw it on the last race. He left it late. He invalidated his first lap. He couldn't get it together, and then he started P15. Fair enough. He finished what, P4? I think it was P4, P5. So he brought it back, but it's a danger. It really is, and you don't want to do that. And at the moment, there's quite a few drivers that haven't set laps. Obviously, Matt Tibos being one. Obviously, Mayor Quemby disconnected. I don't think he's rejoined yet. Jay Luke and Elite Shots at the moment. And let's go on board with Phil Barger. I think Phil is on a flying lap. He is. Obviously, you can tell that by he's got the 0 laps next to his tyre compound. So yeah, let's stay on board with that. Obviously, brake at the 100-meter board. Obviously, try and get a good exit. Very easy to lose it there. Obviously, there he takes a bit more curve there, which is fantastic. Again, nice and that didn't invalidate it. So that was a good one there. Probably not quite the line that you wanted to take, to be honest. However, he's on a lap at the moment. And we should be seeing soon enough. So he takes quite a lot of speed there. And he's going to get a bit of a slipstream. You've got to look for that slipstream, obviously, on the car ahead. And it is Mr. Chiapelli. Obviously, hopefully that doesn't end in tears. And it doesn't, so that's perfectly fine. Obviously, slipstream helps where possible, even if you're not on the racing line. And we'll see, is he up on his time? In a few seconds. He's a 10.5 up. That will put him potentially into P3. Depending on if he gains a slightly bit more time into the final corner. But again, very easy to mess it up. You don't want to bottle your lap on the final corner, and he nearly does. He turned in a bit too early there into that, and he backs out of it. I think he knew that his time had come, but not like Jesus Christ. So 5 minutes then before the end of the session. Matt Tibos still in the pits. Jay Lucas finally came out. So let's have a go on board. And there we go. Johners is spinning. He got a bit too much curb on the left-hander. And around he goes. Again, very easy. The curbs are very dangerous. And that actually curb on the left-hand side that the woman just went over. If you get too much on that curb as well, you have no turning ability. It's like a rodeo. And not a lot of people, I think, like balls as JL Luke retires. So he has crashed, as you can see, literally just where Johners was on the map near the number 2 with the yellow flag. So I think he got on that curb I was mentioning, spun it, and there's no saving of that at that sort of speed. So not very good for J Luke, especially after that race that he just did, finishing P2. So pretty disappointed there. Tyre wear, as far as I can remember as well, I think it is quite severe. It used to be quite severe around here, I think on 2018. However, as far as I'm aware, tyre wear is not the greatest around here still. And at the moment, people's best times are all on the softs, apart from Robo Jeep in P12. He's starting on hards. I think he's forgetting this is a 25% race, not a 50% race in TGP series. So, yeah, not sure his tactic will really pay off. You never know. I said that about Khalifa in the first race last week, and well, I ate my words because he won. So don't quote me on strategies, to be honest with yourself. But at the moment, and actually I must point out, it's very close between the top 2. Less than a quarter of a tenth separating Aiden Griffins and a Machine Fishy on the front row of the grid. And I must point out, I'm not really a fan of turn 1 round it, especially on lap 1. People don't realise how early they have to brake for turn 1, and they just power drive into it, and they can cause crash. And there is a car off there. It's Jack Pearson. Not really sure what he's doing. I don't know if he's spun it or he's just sightseeing. End of the day, we're not really racing at Bahrain this season because of coronavirus. And I would actually like to point out, hopefully everyone is staying safe. Obviously, don't go out unless necessary. I'd say follow your guidelines, sort of governments. No point putting yourself or your family at risk. But yeah, stay safe out there. As we see Kyle getting a bit wrong out there. He is on a flying lap as far as I can tell. Obviously, again, 0 laps on the left-hand side. But we have got quite a few coming out. Matt Tibor still hasn't came out of the pit, so he must be going for a 1-lap wonder. And that's actually Kyle does come into the pits. And Robo Jeep then on a flying lap. He's now gone on to the mediums from the hards. So I think he must be trying an alternate strategy, if I could speak English. It's not a bad shout. I mean, if you're going to be at the back, you may as well do something different just to try and, just try and do something at least. But Robo Jeep has had a decent pace this season. I mean, again, he's sort of relatively, before tonight, he was relatively up there in P5 before tonight's races, so it wasn't really a bad thing. And there we go, Matt Tibos finally on an outlap. There we go, the number 6 in his Ferrari was in the Racing Point last season, if anyone was wondering. Oh yeah, he is going for pretty much 1 to 2 laps at most. I think he'll only get 1 in. But we will actually go on board with him when he starts his lap, just to see sort of what lines he's taking, what ERS he's using as well. Because it's always nice to see how different drivers use their ERS. Matt Tibos, I think, he's really stood out on this game, at least last season as well. He's very good at using his ERS deployment. I think I was, I was okay. I'm gonna blow my own trumpet, as it were. However, I think I was okay at using it, but I think Matt Tibos was far better. He's getting a bit of a gap there. And I wonder if that is going to try and help Paul. Paul's in P4, his teammate at the moment, on a 27.8. He's right behind him, as you can see on the map. But yeah, Matt Tibos is actually just going to do his lap, as it were. He's in overtake at the moment, just to get that extra straight line speed. Put it back into hot lap. Brakes just before the 100-metre board. Gets it turned in, not a single sign of a lock-up. Get that traction out, ride that curve on the left. Be careful of the curve on the right. Very easy to corner cut it without even realising. He avoids it completely. Up the gears now, 100-metre board. Hit the brakes. Try and take a wide line in. Short shift from 3rd to 4th. As he does there, as Corey actually goes quickest. 27.0. I think that will be pole. And obviously it's not a purple sector 1 for Matter, of course. But avoid that curve on the right. Down to 2nd, potentially 1st, just get turned as he does. Short shift from 2nd, straight up to 3rd. Again, cut that wheel spin. Again, this next corner, very difficult. He takes a very tight line, as we can see. Runs it out wide. Nothing too serious there, but get on the power. Doesn't need to short shift at all. Traction, very good for him there. DRS open, ride this curb on the way in. He actually avoids it completely. Well, he starts to at the end. Don't really need to short shift here. Avoid the curb on the right hand side. Again, it's not going to gain time, it's just going to make you spin. This next corner, very difficult. It's a late apex, and he's actually gone purple middle sector, so potentially could be still on for front row or potentially P1. He's got maybe getting a bit of slipstream from the racing point ahead of him. Probably not. Obviously, you don't want to bottle it here. Not a bad final sector. And actually, Machine Fishy then 26.9. Obviously, nearly there. And Matt Tibos comes around the final corner. Where's he going to go? And Matt Tibos goes P1 with a 26.7. I did say. Obviously, pole position would be potentially high 26. I was proven right, of course. Matt Tibos, perfect lap. Obviously, I think he could have gained a bit more in sector 1. But obviously, again, very, very good lap there. Nothing to worry about. Machine Fishy's done. I think Machine Fishy really thought he had it. And I think that's pretty much qualifying over as Aidan Griffiths has binned it. Don't know how he's done it there. It's midway down the back straight. Kyle then on a lap. Obviously, he's not invalidated, so that's good. He's got, I think, a Williams ahead of him. Giving him slipstream. And I think he's actually got Speed Knighton. No, he's actually got Risky Racer right behind him as well. Obviously getting him into it, actually Risky Racer has invalidated his lap time with regards to that. So then we'll actually go off board for Kyle's final few sectors. Everyone else, Risky Racer's already invalidated. Johners obviously on his lap, he's 2.5 temps up. We're going to go on board with Kyle then around this final corner. And is he going to improve then? Is he going to improve from P8? And he does to P5. 27.5. Good lap from himself there. And that is qualifying over then. See, Speed Knighton into the pits there with regards to that. So, you know, that is qualifying over. And I love being proved right. I did say it was going to be in the high 26. I was proved right. Obviously, good lap there from Matt Tibos. I would have liked to have been him and leaving it to the last minute with regards to that. And there we go then. That is the qualifying. I think Machine Fishy thought he probably had it. I mean, he did a 26. I think I would have probably thought he had it there as well. Matt Tibos's lap didn't look particularly special. But there we go. Matt Tibos 26.7. Just about a 26.7. Machine Fishy, very good for him, P2. Corey, finally able to qualify in P3. Only 3 temps off. Aidan Griffiths, I'd say he'll be satisfied with that in P4. Kyle P5, Knight in P6, Johners in P7, only a second off. Paul McGuinness P8, Phil Bardwell P9, Khalifa, very disappointing, Championship leader in P10, Elite Shots, he'll be happy with that, I guess, P11, Northlands P12, Jack Pearson P13, Risk Racer P14, Mr. Cheap LA P15, Robert P16, Mayor Quimby didn't rejoin as far as I know, or at least he didn't do a lap time at least. Then J. Luke crashing out, I believe it was, or disconnect. I think he crashed out, or didn't. I don't know, but he didn't really do a lap time then. So the race will be dry. And obviously Matt Tibos then does have 26 pole positions now. Obviously in his TGP1 career, I'd actually like to go over that as well. So at the moment, TGP poles, you've got Dan the Man on the record of 78, Johners in P2 on 55, myself, the soft cop, on 51, James O'Connor P4 on 45, Dino Courtney P5 on 41, Ben Lacey P6 on 39, Ken Evil P7 on 33. Matt then is in P8 on the all-times record for pole positions on 26. So he's moving up very nicely. Obviously been in TGP for a couple of seasons now. I think it's about 4 or 5 seasons he's been in it. So obviously very, very good. And obviously the fact that he's always at the front really, really helps him. But we're going to now focus on the start of this race. 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. When the sound comes on, and away we go. And actually, Machine Fishy has got a good start. It's side by side. He's already ahead of him. Obviously, with regards to that, Corey has actually dropped Aiden's up to P3. Try and keep it clean, guys. Try and keep it tidy. It has been. That's perfectly fine then. Aidan Griffin up to P3. Obviously, Aidan's trying to fight Machine Fishy now, so that's good. Obviously, be very careful, guys. And actually, Matt Tibos is back ahead into the exit of Turn 1. Obviously, Aidan Griffin's round the outside of Machine Fishy there. This side by side. And Aidan is done. That's perfect. Obviously, there is now Corey trying to get ahead of Machine Fishy as well. But not quite making it stick. So there's a few little battles here. Paul McGuinness and Johners trying to go side by side. Jack Pearson's lost a place. As there is Martin at Northants having a bit of a half spin there. Obviously, we're going to go on board then. Obviously, with regards to that, and as we can see, and there's a racing point out there. That's RoboJeep. Not sure really what happened there. It looked a bit laggy, but yeah, obviously I think RoboJeep is his race is pretty much done with regards to that. And there's a bit of a not much of a gap. I think Aiden has a bit of a gap on Machine Fishy in P3 and P2. It's a battle for P1 and a battle for P3 as well there, but you know what will happen. Let's have a look at the ERS usage. Aiden's on 60%. And Matt Tibos is on 90, so he's getting a bit of a use there. Aiden is having to make those moves early on. No DRS, I must point out. And obviously, it looks like Machine Fishy does have a good bit of straight line speed. Not catching Aiden, but Aiden is in the slipstream there of the next car of Matt Tibos. Obviously, Cleefar up to P15, passing Martin on the left-hand side there, as we can see. But there's not much going on, as it were, and there's a bit of a battle going on for Risky Racer and Mischief Players. He gets a bit too much curb there. Not good for Luca there. Obviously coming out of that in his Renault. Obviously got a bit too much curb, and actually we're going to go on board with Machine Fishy, or off board should I say. He's only a tenth and a half behind Aiden Griffin, so he's pulled away from Corey, and he's now closing down. As actually we see there, Corey really trying to go obviously up the inside and outside and every which way he can. And is he going to try and go up the inside, Corey, of this hairpin? Very difficult. He doesn't think about it. Very smart move there. Again, it's only lap 2 of lap 14. No point there. As RoboJeep, as you can see in the bottom left, has just came out the pits. It's not a good race for him. He'll be hoping for a safety car of some sort, just to close up that gap. But yeah, at the moment, everyone's really holding station, as we can actually say that. Obviously, Mr. Chiapelli and J. Luke really going at it. See, side by side, and Aiden has lost it, so not good for him. He's probably touched that curb that I was talking about. Probably yes, I'm going to say so. So I think he's either going to rage quit, retire, or punch someone. And there's actually a safety car. So as I was just saying, RoboJeep was hoping for that, but this is going to help, I guess, Aiden. You know, you can pit, get a new front wing, and who is actually going to pit? Is anyone going to pit? Matt's in, Fishy's in, Corey is in. Paul stays out, Jono stays out, B-Knight is in, Kyle was in, everyone's in, why not? May as well as Khalifa then. Gets a 5-second penalty for speeding the pit lane. Obviously Aiden has left the session, so I think he's had enough of tonight. I think, you know, disappointing for himself there, as the stream's a bit laggy at the moment, with Aiden leaving as the host. But yeah, and this is going to be an interesting one then. Another safety car. The safety car has came out, I think, pretty much at every race this season. As far as I can remember, or at least there's been a virtual safety car, so that is interesting. But then Matt Tibos is down in P19, P9 should I say, and he is behind the ghost of Aiden. And I think Aiden will, well, I think Matt should be able to overtake him with ease, and he should be allowed to. That's fine, so nothing to worry about there for Matt Tibos. But he does have then a bit of overtaking, and the cars ahead of him. I'm actually going to have a look then of tyres. So everyone ahead of Matt Tibos has not pitted, so it's a bit of a mix. Obviously between them is B-Knight in there, severe collision with Machine Fishy, and he's lost part of his wing. I'm not too sure what's happening there under safety car. Risky Racer apparently passed Jack Pearson. Interesting there. And there's a bit of a, I was going to say a battle behind, but no, it's not. It's just obviously Aiden Griffin's getting overtaken. Obviously his ghost car is at least. So then, let's take a look. So Martin, J. Luke, Luca Chiapelli, and Risky Racer all started on mediums. So they should, you know, they're not too bad in terms of holding up the likes of, you know, Matt Tibos, Machine Fisher, etc. There, will they? Maybe, it depends. I think that the usual pit stop time is around lap 4 to 5, as far as I'm aware. So they're not gonna, they're not going to. Obviously, with regards to that, and Aiden did leave the session as well. Hence why he's down in P17. And Paul has pitted, so that has not worked out well for himself at all. Again, my strategies seem to be wrong when it comes to commentating. Obviously, J. Luke has pitted as well. So let's take a look then. So Paul, it's going to be a fight back from there. He's going to have fresher tyres by a lap. However, it was running high up, and now he's running pretty much at the back. So it's a bit of a difficult situation there. And when is the safety car coming in? We want action, we want racing, we want overtaking, we want defending, we want the pie. But let's wait and see, shall we? As we can see all the cars they're weaving, trying to keep tyre temperature. And how do you say that's not a good tactic for me personally? You know, there's no point weaving. You're just getting tyre wear, which is absolutely unnecessary, to be honest with yourself. It doesn't really do much anyway, the tyre temperature on this game in the race. Even in qualifying, it doesn't really do much. So, you know, just putting unnecessary tyre wear. But yeah, so it's going to be an interesting restart, I think. I'm probably going to say Risky Racer's probably going to try and dive on Johners into turn 1. Jack Pearson will probably miss his braking zone completely and just disappear. Luke will probably get scared of what's going on ahead and just probably cry. Maybe, we'll see. Matt Tibos will be, you know, the cool, calm cucumber, thinking, I need to win this race. I've got it in the bag. Machine Fish will thinking, I'm a rookie. Who are you, Matt Tibos? I'm going to overtake you. And it's all going to explode. So let's hope it is clean, though. You know, all these paying viewers, £5 a month to watch TGP series. We need to make some money in the coronavirus. You know, it's quite difficult in this day and age. And is the safety car coming in? I don't think it is. The lights are still flashing. You know, look at, there we go. Safety car is in this lap. So then, the front 5 have not pitted as of yet. I must point out, Matt Tibos is the first of the pitters. There's obviously John is really backing up the pack. Careful, John, you don't want to brake test anyone and get a penalty. And then Khalifa has hit Waze somehow. That's another penalty for him. Not really what he wanted again. Khalifa had to keep it neat, tidy, and he's not done that. I think everyone's trying to hand Matt the lead again of the championship, as Phil Bardwell now gets a penalty. So not really sure what's going on here, and John is just really waiting. And there we go, he's gone. He's shot his load again, but we're actually going to go on board with Matt, who's about to overtake Martin. Obviously, Matt's already in overtake mode. Martin's in overtake mode. Matt's overtaking him anyway. It makes no difference. Matt's got the position. Nice and simple, as obviously Martin tries to hold it around the outside. Actually, Martin, fair play to Martin. He holds it around the outside of turn 1. He knows he can do that with Matt, and he keeps the position. So fair play to Martin there. Fair play to Matt for keeping it clean. Is Matt going to go up the inside? He thinks about it again. Oh, very, very careful there, Matt, again. You're already points behind. You don't want to get any unnecessary damage. You know, that's not really what you want as there is a battle going on behind. Obviously, Khalifa then has spun it. Khalifa has spun it, and he's got damage on his wing. So everyone's trying to give Matt this title again. You know, it was looking good for Khalifa, looking good for Aiden, looking good for Corey, and look what's happening. So not the greatest with regards to that then. And Matt then is still trying to get on Martin side by side. And actually, Machine Fishy's right behind him. As actually Martin concedes that place. Matt Tibos now has the place, and I think that'll be it really. But actually, to go on board, Machine Fishy thinking about it. He wants that place. He wants to keep it. And actually, I think he might have actually been tagged there, Machine Fishy, by Corey. That was an odd understeer moment, to say the least. So I don't think Machine Fish will be too happy. And then Speed 9 is joining this battle as well. Obviously, Speed 9 up the inside of Machine Fishy. There we go, nice and neat. Obviously, John sets the fastest lap there at the front, 7/10 gap. But we're going to stay on board with this. We've got obviously 2 cars there, and the Williams and the Haas trying to go obviously into turn 1. Obviously, Speed 9 late brakes, keeps Machine Fishy around the outside. He holds it. Nice clean driving there. Obviously, as well as the Williams and Haas also go side by side. So elite shots. Obviously losing a place there, and actually Jack Pearson has just been overtaken by obviously Matt Tibos there. Not really a bit of a thing as we see Machine Fishy and Knighton. Obviously this time Machine Fishy gets back past, says thank you very much, as we see Corey thinking about it with Martin. They want to tangle, they want to dance, they want to salsa. They can do whatever they want as long as they keep that clean. However, let's take a look then down the grid. You know, it's a mix. You know, now the people on the old tyres are really obviously struggling, as Corey then on Martin. Martin up the inside. Nice clean move. Obviously, Martin cannot do anything with regards to that. I think they're on the same... Well, actually, no. I think Corey did pit, didn't he? Obviously, 3-lap-old tyres compared to Martin's 5-lap-old tyres. But Martin's really thinking about it again. He's got that slipstream. There's a yellow flag there as Waze has retired. He has done the exact same as Aiden, obviously, on that curb. A bit of lag there, but nothing too serious. As we've got the virtual safety car. Is anyone going to pit? This is the perfect time for Martin, obviously, and John. His Risk Racer pits. Obviously, John has pits as well. Northlands, Jack Pearson. So all the people that have not pitted as of yet are now making a pit stop, which is the only call they can make, and that's actually going to help them. That's going to help them quite a lot, to be honest with yourself. Obviously, there was always going to lose time and positions to people who already made pit stops, of course. However, this is going to help them a bit more. And again, yeah, we never know. There could be another safety car. We're pretty much halfway through this race already. Not as exciting as Russia, but you know, there's been drama, and DRS has been enabled as we are racing. And obviously, we're actually going to look then. Aiden's AI car has pitted, but nothing too serious. As we see Khalifa getting a new nose in the pits. Not a good race for himself at all, to be honest, with regards to that. And again, he was the championship leader. He might be the championship leader after tonight, but he's throwing it away. He's absolutely throwing it away. Matt is loving this. He's loving life at the front. And look, he's already got a 3.4 second gap in the lead, obviously, to Corey. It's going to be difficult to close that gap for Corey. Obviously, Matt Tibos again. You know, he's got the pace. He has got the pace. Corey, you know, TGP2 champion. But let's take a look further down. There's no real close battles other than, you know, Speed Knighton, Machine Fishy, and Corey. They are the closest at the moment. Actually, I say that. Martin on Jack and Jack on Martin. Obviously, Martin up the inside. Jack can do nothing about that. Obviously, Martin is on as actually runs wide. Don't know how you do that, Martin, at that corner. That's pretty interesting to run wide there, as Jack is back ahead. And I must point out, Martin is on those soft tyres. Jack is on older, or, well, the same length, obviously, tyre life. And that's mediums. The Speed Knighton and Elite Shots. Elite Shots up the inside or around the outside. So not sure what's happened there, but we're going to carry on with this. Obviously, Martin pushing Jack Pearson off the circuit there. I don't think Jack Pearson will be too happy, but he does have DRS. Jack Pearson does have DRS, so that's a positive. He goes up the inside, nothing to worry about there. Nice and easy, Jack Pearson. Up the inside, Martin doesn't try and hold it around the outside. And that's Jack Pearson back through then. But Martin's going to have a good run. He taps him up the arse there, but nothing to worry about. And then Martin's up the inside yet again of turn 3. And now Martin's back past through a nice little battle here. But then Jack Pearson is going to try and don't quite get the exit he needs there. That is a good little battle. I'm quite enjoying that. But there is a little battle ahead with Elite Shot, Speed Iron, and J. Luke looking at those gaps. But I'm actually going to stay on board with this little battle for the time being, at least, just to see. And actually, I think that's done. Martin does now have a 5-second with regards to that, and I do believe Matt is 38 points behind Khalifa in the standings. So it would be down to 13 points as far as my math goes after tonight if Matt wins and Khalifa finishes where he is out the points. So Khalifa's took a massive hammering in his title in one race, and that's how quickly it can turn. Second and third then, obviously a bit of a battle there. DRS, Corey goes defensive, Machine Fish got the inside, no he doesn't, not quite close enough. He's going to try around the outside, no he's not quite close enough there, but he's going to have DRS into this next corner. But let's see then, and Corey is running a bit more defensive, as we can see there. But yeah, nice clean driving from these two then. See a bit of a battle, and I think we're going to probably stay on board with this one as Martin and Jack seem to be over their little battle. And actually, Speed Knighton is not too far there with regards to that, so that could be spicing up any time soon. But we're going to keep on it as actually Khalifa's overtaken Aiden's ghost car. I think he should have just retired from the race, so it makes it easier for me and my old brain. And the Williams there of ART, J. Luke nearly losing on that curb. And there we go then, Elite Shot swerving all over the circuit, trying to get rid of that slipstream, but not quite making it work. Speed Knight didn't have the slipstream for long enough. We're actually going to go back with Machine Fishy as Elite Shots are in the bottom left. But let's focus then on the battle for P2. Why not? You know, two different, rookies as it were in TGP1, fighting it at the front. Obviously, Matt Tibos is gone. It's a 4.1 second lead. It was about 3.2 a lap ago. So yeah, Matt's won this bar any safety cars or mistakes. Here we go. The Machine Fishy, DRS up the inside. Obviously, nice and easy there. As we've got a Renault spun in the middle sector. Obviously, Machine Fishy up the inside. Corey keeps it around the outside. Nice and easy there. And obviously, Machine Fishy goes back around the outside. So, absolutely fantastic driving from the both. Obviously, with regards to that. However, Corey, I think, is going to try and go up the inside. No, thinks about it. Not quite close enough. And there's only a couple of laps remaining of this race. So, this is a battle for the net P2. So, yes. And I think it's given him a bit of breathing space. Machine Fishy with Corey's sort of moves there, so that's not bad for him. Elite Shots though, not too far behind. Again, he won the last race somehow. So yeah, Elite Shots is having a very, very good night. And this race we can't really say this is because people's incidents, because there hasn't really been any incidents compared to the last race. So Elite Shots is P4 on pace, on strategy as well. So he's doing very well. However, will his soft tyres make it to the end? He's been on them, and actually Knighton there and J. Luke having a bit of a ding dong. And I'll see, this is a good little battle. Obviously, I think J. Luke's potentially. So actually, there's a bit of contact there, from Knighton. I think Knighton did the right thing and just not overtake him. He let him go just to say, sorry, I didn't mean that. That's perfectly fine. And then Corey's dropped a bit back from Machine Fishy. There's a yellow flag somewhere, and it's a McLaren has spun. Risky Race has spun it on that curve again, so nothing to worry about there for anyone else there. And Elite Shot's not quite going defensive there, not quite. Up the inside is J. Luke, and now Knighton's right behind them. J. Luke nearly losing it there, and that's allowed Speed Knighton to get ahead. Obviously, so that's that, and Jonas has taken P8 from Paul. So that is good, and obviously Jonas has far fresher tyres than the cars around him. So that's a good move from him. However, Paul, I don't think is going to keep this line down. He's trying to attack him again. Is Paul McGuinness? And I think he was actually tweeted him in his racing overalls and helmets. That's an interesting tactic when it comes to racing. I think I'd probably rather punch myself in the face than that, but it is what it is, and actually Paul has got wing damage, so that's probably that battle over. I'm actually going to go back on board then, as there is a yellow flag as a Mercedes has gone off. And there we go then, Knighton around the outside, DRS aided, nice and easy, nothing to worry about there, and he is completely through. However, will Elite Shots be able to fight back on those tyres? Probably not, but we'll see on this DRS straight in a moment on the main straight. Obviously, there we go then. So, and obviously J. Luke not too far behind with regards to that as well. So, a quick rundown then. Matt Tibos in the lead, Machine Fishy P2 for now, Corey P3 for now, Knighton P4 for now, and there we go then. I'll see Elite Shots. And actually, we've got two different battles going on. I don't know what to watch. We're going to watch Elite Shots because it's literally the closest one. Elite Shots is back through with DRS. Obviously, Machine Fisher there kept obviously ahead of Corey. And there is a spinner. Oh, Knighton and Elite Shots I think have came together. They both have lost a lot of time in that first corner. So that's pretty much that battle done. So I guess now we are going to probably stay with this P2 battle. Obviously for P2 on the podium. So to play for, I think Corey is probably the one now that needs to keep it clean. He was P2 in the standings before this race. He's probably going to be P1 by now, I think, if he is going to keep this position. Every point counts, and here we go then. Obviously Machine Fishy saving his ears. Corey thinks about it, but I think there's a bit of uncertainty there from Corey. Was he going to go defensive? Was he not? So he left it. Only 2 laps to go now, coming on to the final lap in a moment. So Matt Tibos already across the line, so Matt Tibos, well, not even that, it's talking absolute shite. But Clifford does set the fastest lap. Obviously, 1 point for fastest lap, I must point out as well. I haven't pointed out this season that you do get a point for the fastest lap as well. So more of an incentive, but it is only if you finish in the top 10. But here we go then, Corey then. That's the worst camera angle ever. Get off it, no, and he goes up the inside, Machine Fishy. And there we go then, perfect, up the inside, moves back onto the race line, nothing to worry about there. But will Machine Fishy get the DRS on this second straight. He should do. And yes, he does, but is he going to be close enough? We shall see. Will he dive it with the inside again? It's a lap and a half to go. It's all to play for. We'll see. Machine Fishy, not really in title fight as of yet, at least. Corey is. Corey needs to play it smart, play it safe. And I'll see Robo Jeep as well there in P7. Right behind Elite Shots. He's up the inside there. I'll see a good move. Elite Shots trying to get a bit too happy on the loud pedal. Didn't work out, so Elite Shots is struggling. And actually, what's gone on there? So has Elite Shots lost it, or so Elite Shots has retired from the race? So Elite Shots has just retired from his position. Not sure why he's done that, but Machine Fishy then, obviously, he's not really got much of a chance other than the last lap. So, Machine Fishy needs to do something into turn 1, rattle Corey's cage, as it were, if it was a budgie. And, he might make a mistake. We will see. It is the final lap. This is the closest battle on the circuit at the moment, so we are going to keep on board as Risky Racer is in the pits for some reason. And so, yeah, and actually Mr. Chiapelli nearly being lapped, as we can see on the right-hand side. But, yeah, I think he's actually not quite close. If he's going to dive bomb, I think he needs to try and dive bomb it. No, he doesn't. He thinks better of it. He's probably buying his time for turn 2 or that the last corner potentially. But we'll see. There is a yellow flag. Oh, it's nothing. And someone has spun it. I think Jack Pearson has spun it at the second to last corner or third to last corner. As a lot of people do. Probably got on that curb as always. I think everyone who spun it there today touched the curb. And here we go then. Machine Fishy right behind Corey now. He's biding his time. He's going to try everything he can, though, to attack. I'm sure he wants that P2. I think that would be his best result in TGP. Again, Machine Fishy only raced in tonight's races for the first time. In that Renault number 65, I believe it is. He's got the DRS. And actually, let's quickly take a look. Not an issue for either of them. Here we go, then. He's got the DRS. Corey goes defensive, moves back on the race line. Nothing too serious about that. He wasn't alongside. Obviously, nothing to worry about there. And here we go, then. Let's see. Will Machine Fishy do it at the last corner? That is the important thing. That's the only option he's got, and I don't think he's going to do it. And then here we go then. Matt Tibos ran the final corner to take the win. His first win, I must point out, I believe, of this season. So that's four races, 4 different winners. And obviously Corey does hold on for P2, Machine Fishy P3, and there is a battle for Risky and Luca for P14 and P15. There's no points for this, but who cares? It's a fight. We want a fight. We care about the fights. And there we go. And Luca there, not sure. I think he outbroke himself quite badly there. But Luca does let Risky back through. So obviously, apologising there on the race circuit is Luca. And obviously, yeah, that's pretty much all the racing done and dusted. And no other battles on the circuit at the moment. So that's interesting. But I must point out, 4 different races, 4 different winners. Is this going to be TGP's 2012 season? We shall see. However, the grid, the positions, the racers, the safety car, I think definitely played a part in it. The virtual safety car did. Or it was one of them. I don't even know if it was virtual. Not the greatest for some people. Obviously, I think the people who started on the mediums and didn't pit straight away, obviously it screwed their races, but that's the way the cookie crumbles at times, as Khalifa then finishes out of the points. So Khalifa doesn't do anything. Obviously, he's lost a lot of points in the championship to Matt Tibos, and I think Matt Tibos, is playing right into his hands. As obviously both the McLaren and the Renault there go side by side across the line. Obviously, again, no points, but it's all about pride, I guess, with regards to that. But I don't really know what to say to that. Obviously, the championship contenders falling to the wayside in, tonight's races. Aiden, probably one of the favourites going into this season, and he's bottled both races tonight. And that's the difference. I must point out that is the absolute difference between champions and drivers. The champions know what they can do. They know keep it here, keep it there. If I'm not going to be able to get, the win, finish second, keep it clean. Of course, incidents are going to happen. Of course they are. However, you need to avoid them if you're going to finish champion. I mean, look at Matt Tibos. Yeah, he's been in incidents, but he's still been there. And there we go then. Matt Tibos, P1, Corey, P2, good for him. I think he is the net championship leader there. Machine Fishy, P3, J. Luke, P4, Robojeet, P5, John, P6. You can read the rest, of course. And actually, the championship then, after tonight, as we can see then, Khalifa, 58. Corey, 22. Matt, 45. And actually, yeah, Corey is 55. That is a mistake by my my editor on there. So 58 by Khalifa, 55 for Corey. Matt is on 45. J. Luke is on 44. Knighton is on 42 there. And obviously that is the top 5 in the standing. So Matt, not that far ahead. No, not that far behind, should I say. He's not that far behind after the season he's had. And, me knowing Matt, he's going to keep that consistency. The only way people are going to stop him from winning the championship, is get rough with him. The previous races, the last two, the first 3 races, he got duffed up. He, made mistakes in Russia qualifying. However, that is the coverage for tonight's races. It has been obviously the soft cut, on the commentary today on my own as usual, but that's not a problem. Next week races then, China and Japan. We're going to Asia. Obviously, one circuit, my favourite, Japan. China, not so much. Matt does well at both races. So I think it's going to be an interesting one. And that is on March 31st on Tuesday.